Appreciate you guys joining me tonight. Tonight I really want to talk with you about how a player should go about choosing an agent. There's probably a lot of different ways that people could go about it, but it doesn't mean that the ways that people do it currently are the best way. I've been fortunate enough to represent a lot of players over my career and continue to do so, and I've kind of been able to refine and help players really make good decisions on who they should choose and who they shouldn't. One of the main bits of advice I can give you is to approach this like a CEO would go about hiring a VP or a CRO or a COO. Have that kind of professionalism. Have that kind of intention of having a partner, someone that's going to aid you in this entire process, someone that's going to get a benefit out of it, but also give you a significant benefit. If you go about doing it that way as a player, the chances of you making a mistake diminish, and the chances of you getting the most out of a player-agent relationship go way, way, way up. One of the other main things I would really try and help players understand is how important experience and connections are, particularly with a player just like them. But to do that, you've got to be really honest with yourself. Where do you actually sit in the draft? Are you an undrafted player who's unlikely to get drafted? Are you a late round pick? Are you a mid-round pick? Or are you a first rounder? So as you look at experience, make sure that you're choosing an agent based on the experience they have with players just like you. Sometimes I find that players aren't very honest with themselves, or they're just misinformed, or they've been led astray by maybe some unscrupulous agents, or by other people, or just reading the media too much. It doesn't really have a great idea. So first you need to understand where you probably likely sit in the draft, and finding an agent that has a lot of experience and time and effort and energy and connections to help players in your same group as to what you are is going to be huge. Connections are also going to be crucial as well. As you go about the pre-draft process, as you go about the pre-All-Star game process, having an agent that's well connected, that can talk to decision makers, that can talk to people that actually have a pick in the draft is going to be crucial. Have agents show you their phones, show you their Rolodex. Who are they connected with? Who can they help really push to get you in a place that you can't get yourself? And so understanding how important these connections are to NFL teams and choosing an agent along those lines is huge as well. Experience can be measured in years. Experience can be measured also in players just like you. Experience can be measured in draft picks and dollars. There's a lot of different ways to measure it, but just make sure you've got a quantifiable means to make sure you're going with someone that's not going to treat you like a guinea pig, but as a valued partner and asset. The other thing that I find a lot of times that players really miss the boat on when they're choosing an agent is whether or not they're choosing an agent that's really honest with them. Believe it or not, a lot of agents recruit players and sign players based on promises that are really pie in the sky, way out there, and are unlikely to be fulfilled. And the agent knows that. He wants to flatter players, an unscrupulous agent will. He wants players to think that they really believe in him, the player, but really they're just trying to placate him and make him feel something. And really what they're telling him is untrue. This may come in the form of telling a player that his draft stock's a lot higher than it really is, or he can deliver on crazy things like getting them into the combine, which no agent really can, or getting them into a Senior Bowl, which the director, Jim Nagy, has gone on record several times in saying that can't be done. So just be aware that agents a lot of times will not be honest, and finding one that'll shoot you straight, tell you where you stand in the draft process, tell you what you need to do to improve is going to be huge as well. Seek after agents that'll give you references, parents of their players that they currently represent, or maybe even the players themselves if they're not that busy. An agent that has problems with his own clients or hasn't shot you straight will not be interested in doing that and won't give you references. If there are certain promises, mandate and require that those promises that an agent's made to you are put in writing so you can hold them accountable if they're not held to where they should be. Anything that an agent promises you should be put in writing, so just be aware of that as you go along this entire process. The other crucial factor as you try to decide who's going to be your agent is what's the plan? What's the plan before the draft? I think that's really, really important, but don't get so fixed on that other parts of the plan fall by the wayside. Where are you going to train? Is it the best place for you? And a lot of times players get hung up on this because they think what's best for other players that have gone really high in the draft may be best for them, but it may or may not be. Is there a position coach? Is there a nutrition plan? Is there a speed plan? Is the player going to be a focus? Why is this plan being the plan that's selected? Is there anything else that's missing that needs to be augmented by the agent? These are all things that an experienced, honest, hardworking, reputable agent will help provide you with to put you in the best possible light that you need to be for NFL scouts, get you ready for the major all-star games, get you ready for the combine, and get you ready to make a team. The other things that you want to look at is, do they have mentors available? People that have played in the NFL, people that have coached at high levels in the NFL and are going to help you interview well, are going to help you understand how quickly you need to pick up a playbook once you get into an NFL camp, help you improve your technique, help you improve your mindset, help you improve your overall mental strength as you go about this very, very rigorous process. An experienced, smart, incredible agent will have people along the way to really help you do this. I know with my clients, I put them often in touch with people that have played in the NFL, former clients that have gone on to do other things. I've got a good client that's now in the software industry. It was a former offensive lineman for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and a lot of my offensive linemen get to talk with him. And so he's proven to be a real asset for me in helping players understand what they need to do to make it, how they can go from an undrafted guy that didn't go to the combine or a major all-star game to being a starter in the NFL and what that looks like. An experienced agent will have different people like this to help you succeed where it is so difficult to do so. The other thing that you may want to ask an agent is, what's the relationship going to be like with other players that he's representing? I often tell my players that we won't represent anyone that's just like them. It doesn't necessarily mean we won't sign other players at their position, but many positions inside each and every one of them, there's a difference between them. Let me explain. A 5'9" corner is not going to be in competition for a roster spot with a 6'2" corner. A 6'7" tight end is not going to be in competition with a 6'3" H-back, even though they share essentially the same position title. The reason being is because the NFL teams view these different players differently. And even though they share the exact same position title, there's differences between them. But we won't sign two tight ends that are exactly 6'3", or two corners that are 5'9", and so on and so forth. The reason being is because that becomes a conflict. Not because they play the same position, because they play the same position and have the exact same attributes. So I'll ask that question. Who else are you signing? Are you signing anyone that possesses the exact same attributes at the same position that I have? And that'll help you also gauge where you sit and where an agent may be invested or not invested in you. Post-career. Post-career is really, really important as well. What an agent needs to do is help you formulate a plan. This usually comes about once you've made it in the NFL and you're established. An agent needs to sit down with you and have a plan ready to rock and roll based on what you want to do. Where is your platform at? What do you want to accomplish? What career are you looking for? The NFLPA has a lot of different internships that exist, and a smart, connected, experienced, credible agency will help put you into a number of different opportunities to augment your experience outside of football, augment your connections, and augment your overall education. If you want to go on and get an MBA, go to law school, etc., there are several different programs that your agent can help put you in touch with to get you there. If you want to get into coaching, if you want to get into business, if you want to get into marketing, there are all types of different internships that are available. With my firm, we've helped guys get internships, paid ones, at places like Electronic Arts, working on the Madden games. Also, things like Under Armour, working in their marketing department. And so those come about because an agent points you in the right direction. There's a firm plan in place. We also like to introduce our players to business owners, business leaders, and people that can really help them get very, very quickly in places they may want to go. Talk to your agent that you're considering about signing with about if that's possible. But first and foremost, there's got to be a plan. So make sure that there's a plan that your agent knows about and is willing to help you about for your post-career. I can say definitely emphatically that a lot has changed in the area of content creation over just the last few years. When I first got into this business, Instagram and even Twitter weren't really things. Facebook existed, but social media was really still in its infancy. It definitely wasn't as monetizable as it is today. Having an agent that's willing to be very innovative, very cutting edge, and willing to help you create a strong platform on Instagram, Twitter, and other platforms is going to be huge. The ability for you to really gain a hold of influencer marketing is going to be absolutely crucial. So talk to your agent about what he's going to do to help you with content creation, whether that's in video, whether that's in photography. What strategic assets is he going to bring to play to help you get where you need to be? This probably isn't something you should strongly worry about until you're actually on an active roster, but it definitely is something you should have a plan for once you are there. And having an agent that has a lot of experience that can show you what he's done in the past and what he's willing to do for you in the future, specifically tailored to you, is going to be huge. Let me be honest with you. Content creation and the strategy behind this is very time intensive. and very expertise oriented as well. Also, being very candid with you, probably less than about 20% of all agents out there really have any idea on how to monetize content, how to create it, and how to give you a strong strategy with it. They may claim that they do, but they really don't. And as this grows and becomes more monetizable, the need for strategy, the need for augmentation, and the need for management is going to increase. So have that conversation. Feel confident that you've chosen someone that has the ability to aid you in such a crucial aspect there. But just as important as content creation, content management, influencer marketing, and social media marketing in general are to a player in his growth and development and monetizability, so is traditional endorsements. They are harder to come by, but a smart agent that's got a great plan is willing to work really hard for a player, they can come to fruition. But it's going to be up to a player to make the team and become a real asset for that team, so the player and the agent can harness that into monetizable assets and monetizable endeavors. A lot of those things could result in deals with major entities for shoe deals, for major brands. Think of the traditional Pepsi, Frito-Lay, and many others. But those types of brands are going to want stars in the NFL. They're going to want personalities. They're going to want clean-cut imagery. So make sure that the image that you're projecting and that your agent should help you project are things that those brands are going to want. Make sure he's got the connections and the experience to put those kinds of deals together. Make sure he's willing to work for it. Make him convey to you and show you how he's going to go and get these traditional deals. They're rather hard to come by. And so having an agent that's willing to do it once you take care of your business and become a starter or a major contributor on the field is definitely paramount. Putting all these pieces together, having a face-to-face conversation, seeing his level of investment in you is going to be crucial to help you decide whether or not you should hire this person as your agent or if you should go elsewhere. I really hope if you have any questions, you reach out to me on all my different platforms, and thanks so much for chatting with me.